The direct path is available to us now in a cleaner, clearer, simpler way than it was before. If we want to take the progressive path, and I say this with no judgment, we can. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's not necessary. This direct path was, in fact, always available, even in India. But due to the prevailing religious and spiritual attitudes, most people didn't want this direct path. Most people wanted something more progressive and elaborate. I was mistaken about this for many years. I thought that India was the place where Advaita was just spoken about on the streets. No, most Indians didn't want the absolute truth, the pure non-dual teaching, because, and I say this with no judgment, but most Indians were brought up in a devotional atmosphere, and therefore teachers, out of compassion, tailored their teaching to meet the demands of their students and couched their teaching in devotional terms, gave them an object or a person to devote themselves to. But that was only a concession to the understanding of those people. What those teachers, or at least a few of them, like Ramana Maharshi, wanted to do was to take people directly to the truth. He said, my entire teaching could take place in silence, but very, very few people are ready for that. Therefore, I have had to elaborate a series of means. The first means he developed was what he called self-inquiry, or self-surrender, which were his two principal means. But even that was a step down from the top of the mountain. And if people, as many people did, most people in fact found self-inquiry too difficult, although self-inquiry is easier than breathing, but nevertheless, people found it too difficult. He would then take another few steps down the mountain and elaborate a means that was more in line with the way people already thought, more in line with their conventional religious attitudes, in order to just help them take the next step. But we live in a different culture now, a different age. We don't have the same religious, cultural baggage. We're more intellectually inclined. We don't need lots of myths and stories and parables. Many of us, not all of us, but many of us, we just want the absolute truth. We just want to know about reality. We don't want to have to devote ourselves to a person or an object or a practice. So we just want the clean, simple truth, because that's what our culture has encouraged us to be less hierarchical, more direct, more honest in some ways. So I feel this direct path is the path for our era and our culture, our world culture.